accountable. I did bring the I Will No More sovereignty flag that was given to me because I said I would carry it in different rallies as well as to demonstrate and remind people that there are sovereign nations across the land, that I'm not Canadian, as many Indigenous people of the original people of this land, the descendants. We're not Canadians. We're descendants of the original people of this land. And in that, we have a say, a legal say, in what is created in this land. And the city, the municipality, the provincial government is not acknowledging. There is a duty to consult and get permission and to get agreements from us in all things and all matters that they do. It is my understanding that there were many circles held in the last 10 years in regards to Mike Wasylyshyn. The circles and the elders that attended, and I'm not one of them that attended over the last 10 years, have stated they wanted him fired in the beginning. This police service did not follow through with the law they should be abiding by, which is an international law, the Constitution, that states in Section 31, you have to consult with the original people of this land when it comes to law, when it comes to anything with the environment especially, and when it comes to the people, anything that affects our people. So if you got 80% of Aboriginal people incarcerated throughout the land, 80% in those institutions, not to mention child welfare services who are continuing to apprehend children in large numbers, not taken in consideration. They are continuing the policy of assimilation in what they're doing. Destroying culture, destroying languages, destroying the original spiritual practices when they place children in non-Indigenous homes. Breaking up families where you learn as a child to mimic the behaviors of the authority figures in your family, your parents, your grandparents, and the customs and traditions that they live by. The many legislations and policies that have been created throughout the land are having a devastating effect on the people. And it's killing the people in large numbers. This is called genocide. The reason I'm really big on what's going on with Mike is because it's the first step that is taken with Indigenous people. They are first arrested, and then they are made to feel less than and worthless within the system. They don't have a voice. When I worked at the Edmonton Remand, we did not refer to people so much with the name as we did when we rode up when they had numbers. No different than a residential school. They had numbers which they were identified by. And when they would move an inmate, as they call them for lack of a better word right now, offender, when they would move them from one floor or one unit to another unit, they wouldn't say, move Joe Public from one floor to another. They would say, we are moving a body. That kind of language objectifies and dehumanizes. Tagging people with a number objectifies and dehumanizes. That is another form of genocide and another form of assault. Police officers are trained to look at us as bodies, not human beings, with feelings, thoughts, and rights. Thank you. I was going to say that. And rights. We all have rights. We have a right to a fair justice system. And we have a right to be protected by police, not assaulted. Not just us who stand here with some integrity, but those people who suffer with other illnesses, things going on in their life that affect them in their ability to work. You are not worth more because you think you own more. Every individual, every human being has equal value in this world. There is none above or lower than the other. Hi, hi?
Hi, hi. Hi,
hi. Mike seems to think he's above the law that's created and that he is able to do things that we as a people, Joe Public, maybe I should say Joyce Public, are not able to get away with. If I was to taser someone with the 8 times in 68 seconds, I guarantee you I'd be charged, given a number of identification, and put through the system differently than Mike Wasylishin. Some people call that white privilege. I don't call it white privilege. I call it privilege of those who have the money to do so.
I call it corruption!
And he calls it corruption. Corruption?
Corruption!
Corruption?
Corruption!
Make Bannock, not corruption.